So if I did do this, I'm going to jail till 19.
They don't put 15-year-olds in prison.
This crybaby is 15-year-old Conrad Schaefer, currently realizing that 2 weeks of murders and drive-bys across Kissimmee come with a life behind bars.
I just want to go home, man. That's all I want to get out this room.
Over the course of his interrogation, Conrad will now do anything he can to escape the consequences, whether that means calling for daddy,
in my head,
or throwing a tantrum.
I knew you were okay, but now I know you're being honest with me. Conrad, you need to talk to me now, Conrad. I'm telling you, man, you don't understand.
No matter what, I'm getting locked.
From June to July of 2013, Kissimmee, Florida was rocked by a string of drive-by shootings. Late at night, a car whipped down streets, blaring music and firing a rifle out of the window, peppering houses and shattering windows. At first, police assumed it was gang violence or young adults going out to cause trouble, but nothing really could have prepared them for how young the young adults behind it were, and nothing could have prepared them for what their drive-by house shootings escalated to. On June 26, 2013, at 6 a.m., while all his classmates were sleeping, 17-year-old David Guerrero was making his way to a nearby bus stop to go to work. Suddenly, in the dim morning light, there was an explosion of noise and the flash of a muzzle. David fell to the ground, having been shot in the back. Just a few days later, on July 4th, Eric Rupnarine's mother stepped outside of their Kissimmee home to grab a few things. When she returned an hour later, she made a horrific discovery. Her 22-year-old son was dead, having not only been shot, but stabbed as well. Quickly, police came to the realization that not only were the murders connected, they were also connected to the drive-by shootings. Everything was linked together by the unusual casings found at the scenes, all of which were unique to a .45 high-point carbine. Armed with the information on that unique weapon, police reached out to local dealers, and that led them to the buyer, 15-year-old Conrad Schaefer's father. Quickly, police bring him, as well as his 4 close friends, David Damoose, Victoria Rios, and Juan Muriel, in for questioning, where they quickly turn on one another. Conrad's interrogation in particular starts off with a bang.
So was your dad like straight from Germany? Or?
Well, his uncle was on he was verified to 100% German. He asked him to come back to the state and box for him.
So you guys got like ties to Hitler somehow?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Your dad tell you little stories?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Just to note, when you're walking into an interrogation room, you might not want to boast that you're connected to one of the most evil men in history. But we do have to cut Conrad a little slack, I suppose, because as he's about to reveal, he's a few sandwiches short of a picnic.
What grade are you actually in?
This last year, I'm in 8th. I don't know if I passed or not, but they said I should be on the OHS, so I guess I passed. So.
Okay. Well, what school were you going to?
I was going to New Beginnings.
Okay, how come?
For battery.
Okay. Okay. So you've been arrested before?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been to JDC and all that stuff before?
Yeah.
Okay, you working on that stuff, or what was the end of that?
I just had to go to court today because it was me, David, and Nelson, in this case, Josh. And Nelson and Josh decided to be stupid and go out popping tires.
Okay.
That's how I me and David know.
So you had to go to court today for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conrad goes on to explain that the previous night, he was with his 3 friends, Juan Muriel, Victoria Rios, and David Damoose, all of whom were just 2 years older than him, and all of whom had only forged friendships with him 2 weeks prior. In those 2 weeks, Conrad got himself into a fair share of trouble with them, because it wasn't just drive-by shootings that Conrad and his friends were doing. They were robbing people, then bringing those stolen goods back to Conrad's house and using them. And if you love watching killer teens like Conrad realize they're not the smartest in the room, subscribe. That's literally all we do here.
Now, so you guys were playing like with that Xbox and that TV and all that junk. Okay, you guys had that for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where did that come from? Like, where'd you guys?
I don't even know. David brought it over.
Who bought it?
David brought it over.
When did he bring that over?
About 2 weeks ago.
He bought what did he bring over?
The Xbox.
Okay. What about the TV? TV too?
The TV been there. That's
TV's
why he
been
brought it
there.
over so we could play
Okay.
games.
Okay. Now, I know that Juan has a gun in the house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What does he have?
He has a Glock, but he has papers for it and everything.
Okay. It's not illegal for that. Okay. What other guns are in that house?
I don't know. I think my dad got a gun too.
Do you know your dad has a gun?
Yeah.
You know your dad has a gun. Okay. What does he have?
I think it's a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high point.
Okay.
High point, yeah.
Okay. You remember when you bought it?
Nah.
Were you there when you got it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I was
How many rifles did you buy? Okay.
I was
Okay. So that rifle's in the house. Okay. Now, Conrad, this is the way this kind of works. Okay. We've done a little bit of homework, done a little bit of investigating. Okay. And obviously, we talked to David, we talked to Juan, we talked to Victoria, we talked to everybody. Okay. And obviously, you live the furthest, so you were the last one we kind of came to. Okay. So we have a pretty good, picture of what's been going on and what's been happening. Okay. So talk to me about that gun a little bit. What's been going on with that? I know that you. Anyway, what's been going on with that gun?
Nothing. My dad keeps it on him all the time.
Okay.
Because Juan told him that he needs to get one.
Why?
Because this is Florida. And he didn't want my dad getting robbed, so he told my dad to get a gun.
Okay.
My dad was alright. And he got it. And Juan told him to get a pistol, but he said he didn't want a pistol. He wanted something that he could carry in his back seat. Because Juan said that it was legal for him to carry the gun in the car. So he said he would get it so he could carry it on at all times.
Okay. Have you fired that gun in any way? Like you ever take it to the range or anything like that? You never gone practice with it or anything like that? Okay. Are you a gun guy? I am. So, no?
No, Juan
No, not really.
Every little thing about him.
Really, he does?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the funny thing is that, during the course of talking to everybody who was at that house, I'm getting a little bit of a different picture of you and your relationship with that gun. Okay. Now, this is the thing. I don't know if you remembered, but when we were coming up the stairs, we didn't really ask you anything, but I did say that what we're looking for here is not perfection, but we're looking for honesty. Okay. None of us want cops. We understand that we all screw up when we do things that are kind of, iffy. The defining moment is what you do about it afterwards, okay, and how you're going to be about it afterwards, okay. Now, I know that you like that gun. I know that you were kind of all over that gun, okay. I know that for a fact, okay. So by you telling me that no, I don't like guns, I don't mess with guns, I don't do stuff like that, doesn't. Hang on, let me finish here. That of course, who doesn't? You know what I mean? So. Don't think that by you just telling me that is just going to make us say, okay, cool, he doesn't, we're going to erase everything else that we do know, okay? So I'm going to back up a little bit, okay? Because, again, I need you, we're looking for your honesty here, okay? Back up a little bit now, because remember, Victoria's been in that house, David's been in that house, Mom's been in that house, okay? And they've we know how you've been interacting with that gun, okay? And I know what it's like. I remember when I got my first gun, and dude, I mean, I'd take a shower with it if I could. Okay, just the way it was. Okay, so kind of rewind and kind of again, let's revisit that again. Okay, I know you've held that gun before, right? Okay, all right. Who else has been handling that gun?
Oh, we all play with it without the clip in it. We all. I mean. You get a big rifle and it's fun to play around with, Of
course, it's fun to play around with. What else have you guys done playing with it?
I've secured every single room in my house.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Security.
So you're walking around doing building searches in your house. Find anybody?
Oh,
they should have been there.
Victoria.
Okay, the same dudes that should have been there. Okay, so they let you just come in and freaking find them like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else has been going on with that gun, man?
That's it.
Conrad?
No.
Let me tell you this. That gun's been in your dad's car, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you drive your dad's car?
I drive my dad's car. No, David does.
Okay, so David drives your dad's car with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Be honest with me here now, okay? has that gun been in the car when you, and it's not illegal, I'm just asking you, because David's an adult, has that gun been in the car when you and David have been in it?
I don't know, you have to ask my dad.
I did. I did ask your dad.
Alright.
Okay, we've already talked to him, alright, for actually quite a bit.
Alright.
I did ask your dad, so I'm asking you, because you would have known that. Okay, you would have known if it was in there or not. Okay, has that gun been in the car when you and David have been in the car?
No,
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Dad telling you the difference.
But my dad keep it on the seat.
Okay, you would have known that if you're sitting there cleaning rooms in your house with your friends hiding. Okay, you would have known if that gun was in that car. Okay, I'm asking you again. Was that gun ever in the car with you and David in it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now I know you're being honest with me. See, the first 2 times I knew you were bullshitting me, okay, but now I know you're being honest with me. All right. Now, I completely understand that, especially when you're excited about a new gun. Okay, you're having fun, you're hanging with your boys, you're in your daddy's car. Did you guys play around with that gun at all?
No.
While you were? Okay. We can play the same game if you want. You can tell me no twice and then tell me the truth the third time again if you want to. Okay, but we can do that, okay? Because again, I know different. If you forget, we've already talked to David. Okay? So I'm asking you again. Okay? When you and him have been in that car, okay, has anyone ever taken that gun out? Taken it out from the seat?
No.
Okay.
Conrad is pretty shy about discussing his gun, which is odd given the fact that prior to the shooting, he was begging his dad over and over to buy him one. And not just a gun, but 100 rounds of ammo to go along with it. Since this was Kissimmee, not the Keys, his dad evidently saw nothing wrong with doing that for his 15-year-old son. But now his son's in the hot seat, thinking that his friends have snitched on him. Except David hasn't really snitched. Victoria?
You shot him. And they took.
Well, that's a different story. But we'll get to her after we take a look at the 22-year-old mastermind behind the second shooting, David Damoose.
David. David, when we first talked to you, I kind of let you know what was going on and try to let you know that it would probably be in your best interest to kind of get ahead of, because the way this works is that, you know, we bring everybody down and eventually one domino falls and then everything else happens after that. Well, that domino has fallen. Okay, that domino's name is Conrad. It has fallen. Okay?
The other domino? Victoria.
Okay, so David, we know where you were. We obviously know what you were doing. Okay? I want to hear the story from you now, because now this is like up close and personal. Okay, this is right in your face now, David. We know the story. We have a clear picture. You, Nelson, the whole night. Okay. Please, what I'm asking you is,
Nelson?
Yeah, for your own sake.
No, Conrad.
You can come. Sorry. That night, or that day, the day of that shooting, that kid who was just walking down the street. Okay, walk me through that, David.
You know, bro, here's the great thing about what's going to happen right now, is that you don't need to talk. I don't need you to talk. I don't have to have you talk. What we're doing now is we're giving you the opportunity to explain to us what in the world was going through everybody's head and why that happened and where you were at in that car. That's all we want. That's it. And if you don't want to talk about anything, we'll leave.
That's fine. I mean, but, you know, in that case, what would be done would be done. I mean, I really can't. I can't work with lies. I can't work with silence. I work with truth.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even in the car that day.
Okay, we're being told different.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the car that day.
Okay, so what do you know about that day?
I just know like what everybody else knows.
No, you know, which is what? Come on, David. Because now this is completely different. Now this is kind of flipped on you in a way that
Unfortunate for you.
Yeah, very unfortunate for you. We told you before, man, that you know, once these dominoes start falling, you know, the last person to remain silent is usually the loser. So here we are.
Tell me, I tell you what, let's do this. Because Conrad told us all the gun incidents.
Everything, every last one.
Tell me what you were involved in, because he put you involved in a lot. So tell me in your own words what you were involved in.
I wasn't involved in any of them.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm not going to bother wasting my time.
Dude, we're not going to do this, dude. I'm going to sit here forever.
That's cool.
I mean,
You're not free to leave.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere now, David, at this point. I mean, it's obvious that you can't, we can't do anything for you, man.
And the next time I come back in, if you want to talk to me, I'm going to read your mind rights. Okay? You're not free to leave at this point. Your freedom is gone. Okay?
Do you have any questions? Anything I can do for you right now? You're not wondering anything at all. We just told you.
Actually, stand up real quick. I want to make sure we search your birthday. You have anything in your pocket? Keep your change. Keep your change. All right.
You want to talk or no? It's up to you, David.
I don't even know what to.
I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm just being honest with you. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But it just is what it is. I've been too young. I've told you anything to don't believe. I've been lying to you. Just if you want to talk, there's a couple things I have to read. If you don't want to talk, then tell me that too, so that way we don't waste our time, and then we'll do our paperwork and get you out to the jail. This is serious, David. This is serious. You must seriously think about helping yourself out. You might want to think about seriously helping yourself out, because what we're talking about now is extremely, extremely, extremely serious. Extremely serious. Okay? Extremely. We're talking decades. Serious. You know, everybody else talked. Everybody. You knew 15 years old Conrad wasn't going to hold up. You knew that.
But Conrad doesn't know any better. To be fair, he started the interview himself saying he might fail the 8th grade. Back in his interrogation, as David holds out, Conrad fails miserably to do so. Because just like decision-making isn't his strong suit, neither is lying.
You know what ballistics are?
Nah.
Ballistics is the ability to tell the exact, every gun has a fingerprint. Right now, like people's fingerprints, but every gun when you shoot it actually has a fingerprint, and it leaves a fingerprint on the bullet, and it leaves a fingerprint on the casing.
Yeah.
Okay? Every gun leaves a unique fingerprint on its casing and on its projectile. Okay? That type of evidence is called ballistic evidence. Okay?
Yeah.
And when we're able to match that stuff up, that's so when you hear the term ballistics and CSI, that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That was run on your gun. Okay, and guess what happened?
Wow.
Okay. We were able to see that it was actually fired several times. Okay? We have the casings. Okay? So, regardless of what you tell me, I know scientifically 100% that high point 45 carbine fired X amount of rounds, and we were able to trace it back to that gun. That happened. Okay? Your dad wasn't the one out there shooting it. Okay? This is where you need to man up. Because now is the time. You understand? Because right now, I'm going to tell you right now, what that girl is telling me about what you're doing with that gun, and what David is telling me about what you're doing with that gun are completely different than what you're telling me. Okay? Now, you add that up, plus with the ballistic evidence that we do have. Do you understand? I know I'm talking to the right guy.
Yeah, what else you got to ask me?
I'm still waiting for a decent answer on any of them, really, to be honest with you.
That's all I got to say, man.
Victoria said that you came home one day and you said, I just did 5 drive-bys and I shot up 5 houses and did a drive-by. She was in the house when those came out of your mouth. Talk to me about that.
Well, she must have been high or drunk or something.
She wasn't high or drunk. She was pretty dead on. Now, do you understand that? Now, do you get the picture here now? Okay, we've got ballistic evidence, you loving that gun, somebody who's in your house saying that they heard you tell them that you just did a bunch of houses and did a drive-by. Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk. Okay, so talk to me about that. Do you remember that day?
If I remember that day, I would have said something.
I don't think you would have, because you've already kind of not been You haven't been 100% with us the whole time. I'm just being honest with you.
I have a question. My dad's still here?
Is your dad still here? He may be. I'm not sure.
Well, other than that, that's all I got to say. Unless you got more questions to ask.
I am asking a question, so wait for an answer. Why would she know that? Why did you say that in front of her?
I wouldn't say something like that in front of her because I never did nothing like that.
I get it.
I'm still stuck on the fact that I just walked out my house and had like 15 officers just put me to the floor.
Okay. We're past that, though. That happened a while ago, didn't it?
I'm still stuck on the fact that even happened.
Okay. Well, it did happen, obviously. So you tell me how that happens. It was your rifle that shot those shots. I
can't answer that because
you can or you won't.
I told you. I would never run the weapon while I was fired. If you can't.
You listen, Conrad. You would have known where your gun was. You would have known that.
Like I said, the gun gets left in the back seat of the car sometimes.
You sleep with this thing.
Not every single day.
You sleep with this gun. You would have known where it was, Conrad.
Not every night.
Okay.
You did hear that correctly. And no, it's not an exaggeration. After Conrad's father bought him the rifle, he began sleeping with it alongside him. But, I mean, not every night, because that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
You've been through the system before. You're saying you got jammed up for something you didn't do just the other day. Okay, this is a heck of a lot stronger than that. And we're talking about some serious junk here. So if there's another explanation you have for it, I would suggest that now is the time. Because you can sit there and try to go down and
well, like I said, I'm going to be real. If somebody did something with that weapon and they ain't tell me about it and they ain't ready to fess up to it, then I guess I have to take the charge for it.
Okay. If somebody did something with that gun and shot it.
I don't know any otherwise, so.
Okay, Conrad, if somebody else did something with that gun, you would have known about it, dude, because that's your gun.
No.
That's your gun, dude. That's your gun, bro. But you complicate the situation when you come in here and you tell me that you have absolutely no clue what the hell I'm talking about, that some mystery ghost must have took my gun and fired it and brought it back and put it back in my house. Dude, nobody in their right mind would believe that. Nobody in their right mind, Conrad. So please, do yourself a favor, okay, and just be honest with yourself and be honest with us, because, okay, somebody got shot with your gun, and you know what I'm talking about.
No, I ain't shoot
Conrad, look at me.
I shot the house.
About that. Now what we have already known, okay, is that your gun is the one that did all that. We knew that before we even came to talk to you. We know that. So I don't need you to sit here and just lie to me and bullshit me because it's not going to work, because it doesn't make any sense. You need to tell me. Well, then that's up to you to tell me that. But right now you're not giving me any names. You're not saying anything. So what am I supposed to do? When you own a gun, let me see, the first thing about gun ownership is that you're responsible for that gun. That is yours. Your daddy bought that gun for you, and you know that. Okay? Because you're the one holding it, you're the one with it, you're the one playing with it, you're the one in houses with it. You. Nobody else. You.
I just want to go home, man. That's all I want. I want to get out this room. I told you I want to know there ain't anything else to it. I don't know anything else. And that's all I know. I just want to get out this room and see my dad.
I'll be right back.
In the next room over, Victoria confirms to the police that Conrad has bragged about doing drive-bys, and she offers a startling insight into who he is exactly.
What did Conrad do?
Conrad supposedly was going to do shooting, like, what's the word? I forgot. I have so much in my mind. Drive-bys. So he was doing drive-bys. And then I was also hearing about the 17-year-old boy that was walking to the bus stop, and he shot the 17-year-old boy all over the news. And then he tells me that he's a 17-year-old, that they found the gun that 17-year-old, and it was Conrad's gun.
Conrad told you that?
No, the detective. And I was like, that's impossible, because Conrad, like, he doesn't trust me like that because I kind of just met him. But he told me there was stuff on that gun, but he never told me from who. But that's the least that I expected because I never heard about the 17-year-old. Me and Juan were just looking at the news, and we have seen a 17-year-old. We went to the gas station the other night recently, and the lady was telling him that the cashier was like, because he knows everybody on there. He goes to that gas station, the Kangaroo by Reed Club all the time. And she's like, supposedly she knows one of her friends got arrested, and he's being accused of shooting that 17-year-old. So when he told me that Conrad shot that 17-year-old, I knew nothing about that. And then he's like telling me, like, to tell him the truth, and I'm telling him I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know Conrad shot that 17-year-old. I just knew him about doing drive-bys, and then the black guy, the dark one, David, that lived with us in the house, his house, he goes with him.
Let me ask you before I just step out real quick, though, and I asked you this earlier, is reference to all these cases that we're working, and you hear about all these shootings, and that's why I ask about guns, is because you never know. But is there anything else that anybody's said that you've thought has been kind of like, that's or that's not right, or anything that was helpful?
When you told me about the drive-bys, and of course, like I said, it was bad. Like, it wasn't my saying it. And then, like, of course, they knew that me and Ariana knew a lot of stuff, like, about the drive-bys. Not, like, all in detail, but we just know they did drive-bys and we knew there was bodies on the gun. So I told the detective, they didn't say this to me, because he was like, oh, when did they say that to you? I was like, they didn't say it to me. But they had, like, I thought about it. I was like, if I had ever told them, then I felt like they would kill me if they had found out that I told them.
Who would kill you?
Conrad. They would better think about Conrad, honestly. Because Conrad, I don't know what it is, but when you see him, he looks like he's just innocent white boy. But then once you get to know him, he's like a different side. Like, he's crazy. And I'm probably playing video games and watching all the TV shows.
That crazy boy who is dead inside assumes the position of a snail, and he has reason to, because with Victoria in the next room, his story is crumbling. When his dad finally enters the room, Conrad cracks. Unfortunately, he does so in sign language because his stepfather is hearing impaired.
Tell him that we want him to tell us the truth. Conrad, you want to see your dad? Conrad, talk to me about the kid that we were talking about. Your dad's here.
I didn't do that one.
Okay.
I've done my whole life, man.
Okay.
I told you everything I did.
I'm not.
Everything
Okay.
I know about
I'm
it.
not going to talk to me. What else?
After nearly an hour of Conrad sobbing, detectives return from speaking with Victoria and David, and Conrad is about to have a few more reasons to cry.
My name is Alex, and I'm Kevin's partner. Before you think and how you answer these questions, do you understand who else is here at the PD?
Yeah.
Who do you think is here right now?
David, Victoria, Juan, and Nelson.
Okay.
Pretty much everybody.
Okay. Do you think that I just spent the last couple of hours speaking to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing that I've spoke to your friends, I know what's going on. I know what's happened. And when my partner here is asking you specific questions, Conrad, this is important, man. I need you to be 100% honest, because we're not investigating a gas drive-off. We're not investigating you stealing a Snickers bar. Okay, we're investigating some serious allegations here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 15.
You're 15 years old. We know a lot more than you think we know. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
When this man's asking you what happened on the 3rd or the 4th, dude, I need you to be 100% honest.
Well, the whole week before the 4th of July, I was with my dad the whole time.
Okay, see, now I know that's not true. And you want to know why not true? Because I have your friends here, Conrad. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, you may have been with your dad at one point or another, and I get that. But not the whole night on the 3rd going to the 4th. And I know this because I have your friends with me. I'm telling you this.
Victoria and David told me that they had somebody that they could get money off of.
Victoria told you this, along with David, that they could get some money off this kid Eric.
Yeah.
Where does Eric live?
We took him over there by like when you pass the library, when you coming from Pleasant Hill, right? You make a right and you go and pass the library, right? And once you pass the library at the end, I think it's Koa. That's Koa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you make a right on Koa, and you go down and you make another right. And it was one of those streets down there.
Who was with you?
Me, David, and Juan, and Victoria.
All four of you were there.
Yeah, but me.
Hold on. All four of you are in what car?
On my dad's car.
Okay. Walk me there from there. What happened from there?
And then we pulled over on the street, and then David got out, grabbed the gun. Victoria got out, and then Juan jumped in the driver's seat and told me to get in the passenger seat. When we got in the passenger seat, he just drove towards
Okay, who gets out?
David and Victoria.
David grabs the gun?
Yeah.
And then they get out of the car.
Yeah.
What do those two do?
Well, they just started walking towards the house, and we pulled off, and we just kept circling around.
You and Juan pull off?
Yeah.
You're telling me David and Victoria went where?
I guess they broke in the house and killed somebody.
So you're telling me David and Victoria broke into the house?
Victoria was the one that had the plan.
Okay.
She didn't.
I'll give you that.
What they said is that they didn't have to break in. They supposedly the guy was gonna do something with Victoria for money, like he was gonna pay her to do some stuff.
All right. So you're telling. So David and Victoria get into the house. What do they do from there?
David told me just the guy because he didn't have all the money.
From where? And he told you this. Using whose gun? Whose gun was it?
My dad's.
Your dad's gun. Okay. What money did Eric owe anybody?
They didn't say he owed him. He's like I guess he was like a perv or something. He wanted to get with Victoria for some money.
Okay.
Because she said she knew him for a while.
So they went down there because he's a pervert or because he had the money?
Because he had the money.
Okay. So you guys wanted to rob him.
That's what I'm guessing.
That was the plan.
That's what I'm guessing they were trying to do it. I guess that they thought it would be easy because she can get inside the house and he was willing to kill somebody for money.
Who's he?
David.
Okay. All right, so the two get into the house. David, Eric, and what does Victoria do? What's her involvement inside the house?
I saw her. She came back outside and me and Juan, we drove over, picked her up, and we just waited. And then David called Juan and told him to pull the car up. And when he pulled the car up, they just started throwing stuff in my car. My dad's
What did they throw in your car?
It was like a TV and I think a PS3, something like a game system.
What else?
And Xbox and I think that's it.
What else?
I think
that's not it. What else?
Well, there was a TV, PS3, Xbox.
Come on, Conrad.
And they got cash from him too.
What else?
And his phone.
What else?
And I think that's it. I think that's everything.
That's not everything. You know, there's more to it, and you know. So what is it?
Well, like that's all they took. That's all they put in the car.
No, there's more. You may have forgotten, but there's more. All right, we'll go back to that. We load all the shit into your dad's car. Coming out. Anybody has gloves on? Does anybody have gloves on?
Yeah.
Who's got gloves on?
David.
David.
Victoria.
And Victoria have gloves on.
Yeah.
What color are the gloves?
Victoria had what's it called? Like latex gloves, and David had my blue R, like it has an R on it.
Where are those gloves at now?
They're in my car.
In the Buick?
Yeah.
They're in the car right now?
Yeah.
Where did you get those gloves from?
Walmart.
Which Walmart?
The big Walmart on 192.
The one in Kissimmee?
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the night where Eric was shot. So they have gloves on. They load the car up with all this stuff you're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do?
Then we just went back to the apartment.
Who drove back?
David.
David.
He said that he wanted David to drive because he has a license.
Okay. And David told you this. Okay.
Victoria paints a very different picture of what happened on the 4th of July.
But what I do know is that you know more than you're letting on. And that I know for a fact.
Do they tell you the truth or they lie?
It's only the truth. And that's what I need to confirm with you. Because they're in a heap of shit, Victoria. They're in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of trouble.
Want to?
I need your help. Okay. I need you.
I didn't kill Eric.
What's that?
I didn't kill Eric. You would never find my prints on that gun.
Tell me about it. All of it.
So let's start there. What are you scared of getting in trouble for? Did you hold the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you fire the trigger or pull the trigger?
David did.
David pulled the trigger? Okay. Were you there at a house or in a car or anything like that? So what makes you think that you're going to get in trouble?
Because he know them. And that I know about it, and I just say anything.
Okay. But this is where you have a choice now that we're going to help you get through this and figure out what happened and stuff like that, okay? And then what happened?
They went to a section code.
And how do you know that?
Because he came back after it happened, and he got his address and everything, okay?
And what did they say?
They told me what happened.
Who did?
Conrad and David. And they came back with the PS3. It was still on TV. And they just kept talking about it. And that's why it hurts me so much, because he was my friend.
What did they say that they did when they were there?
Because they wanted money from him. And he didn't have money that he told him that he had.
Mm-hmm. Did they do anything else?
He just told me that they shot him. And they took his stuff.
There's something Victoria isn't telling the truth about here. All the texts that police reviewed proved that she was the honeypot of the scheme. She texted Eric, offering to have relations with him. Instead, she brought along David, Juan, and Conrad, who quickly rushed into the home. David held a gun to Eric's head and counted down for him to hand over all the cash he had. When it turned out to just be $300, he pulled the trigger. After the shot was fired, all evidence points to Conrad's Eric. Yet, he's not quite ready to admit that.
Okay. And that's part of the truth, and I believe some of the story here, but what I don't believe is that you were actually not in the house when it happened, Conrad. The reason why I say this is because your own friends are telling me something completely different than you're telling me. They're telling me that you were in the house. That's what they're telling me. So I need to find out exactly what your role was, because I don't think you were in the car. I think you were actually in the house when somebody else pulled the trigger. Now, was it you that pulled the trigger? Who's the one that pulled the trigger?
David.
David, and how do you know this?
Because I witnessed it.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
It hurts my stomach just to talk.
All right, Conrad. You saw David pull the trigger. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I need you to tell me this. Okay. What happened after that? You're almost there, dude.
No, I heard David in the face.
You know, you didn't hear. Did you see him?
Yes.
Again, I'm asking you. I don't know.
Yes.
You saw him. Where were you standing when David, Eric, and
I was standing like halfway from the couch and the kitchen.
Okay. What happened after that?
I started freaking out, and he told me to help him carry the TV, and I told him.
Wait. Stop. What else happened immediately after David? What happens to Eric, Conrad?
Well, he told me to get the money.
Okay.
I got the money.
How'd you get the money? Where was it?
It was just sitting in his hand.
He had money in his hand when you guys walked in.
Well, because look, he was gonna pay Victoria.
Okay. How'd you guys get in?
Victoria just let us in.
She wasn't. What do you mean she let you in? She opened the door and just walked in?
No, because he let her in, and then David went up to the door and rang the doorbell. And when David rang the doorbell, Victoria came to the door and opened the door.
So the three of you went into the house.
Yeah.
So Victoria rang the doorbell. Eric answered the door, and then walk me through what happened there.
And then he answered the door, and then the kid tried to, I was still standing outside when the kid tried to pull the gun from David, because David was still standing, right there in front of the doorway. He just got in. And the kid was trying to pull the gun. David was like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get down. And
at this point, all three of you enter the house?
Well, David and Victoria was already in there.
Okay, and then don't tell me you were outside.
Then I walked in.
Then you walked in. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead, finish up.
After he was sitting down.
Okay.
And then Victoria walked outside. And me and David stayed inside. And then
walk me through that entire night, bud.
And then David just kept getting loud with him, where's the rest of the money? Where's the rest of the money?
And he had the money in his hands, you're telling me?
Yeah, he had 300.
And how do you know he had 300?
Because that's how much he was supposed to pay Victoria.
All right, go ahead.
And so David kept just getting loud, where's 300? Where's the rest? Because he sent Victoria a picture of $2,000. And so David thought that he would have $2,000 on him.
Gotcha.
And then, he kept getting angry because the guy wouldn't want to give him the rest of the money. And so David just shot him.
Did he instruct Eric to do anything? He
told him to go into the bedroom. Because he asked him, where's the money? He said, there's $300 in my bedroom. Yeah, that's where the money came from. He had the $300 in his bedroom, so I guess he was going to do what he wanted to do with Victoria.
Did he hold him at gunpoint at this point, force him to the bedroom? I don't get it.
Yeah, he had him at gunpoint the whole entire time.
The whole time? What did he use for the gun?
Huh?
What gun did he use? Your dad's?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he told him to go into the room. And David took him into the room and came back out. And the kid was still holding the 300, trying to give it to David. And David told him to sit down.
Sit down where?
On the floor.
Okay.
And so the kid sits on the floor. And David aims a gun at him and just keeps telling him, where's the rest of the money? That's not all you have. I know there's more. I know there's more. And the kid just kept denying.
Okay. What did you do?
He told me to get the rest of the money.
From where?
From his hand. I grabbed the money. And
you check his pockets?
Yeah. David wanted me to. I told him I couldn't do it. And that's why David was telling me that he was thinking that I would snitch on him because I wasn't willing to get my hands dirty, supposedly. And I told him I couldn't do it because he's already dead. And he like it was nothing, and continued to search the house like nothing happened.
While Conrad is busy blaming David for stabbing Eric, after nearly 3 hours of interrogation, David still refuses to admit fully that Conrad stabbed him. Now, we're not praising lying to police and refusing to snitch, but the comparison between Conrad and David seems to speak to how well they'll do behind bars.
Let me ask you this. Did Conrad, look at me straight in the eye, did Conrad, Eric, the victim? Look at me. Look at me straight in my eyes, man.
Yeah. I mean, he had a knife. He had a knife, so.
Did he?
I'm
look at straight in my eyes, man.
Yeah, I didn't, but he did have a knife.
In the end, David, Juan, Victoria, and Conrad were all charged with first-degree murder for the death of Eric Rupnerine. David was sentenced to life. For her role, Victoria was sentenced to 30 years in prison. For the deaths of Eric and David Guerrero, Conrad was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison. Turns out a 15-year-old can be sent to prison, despite the officer's insistence. In their grief, David Guerrero's family returned to Colombia, where they had previously lived, to escape the pain of losing David just outside of their home. Our thoughts are with them, as well as the family of Eric Rupnerine. Thank you for tuning in. Nearly 85% of everyone watching isn't subscribed. Your subscription and support would mean the world to us, so we can keep bringing you more content just like this. Before you go, check out one of our craziest cases right here, or one of my newest ones right here.